I think our commitment to play the right way was probably the most different thing. There were a lot of games in the first half of the year where we get down in the first half and then kind of quit and roll over. But we had a lot more fight in our team. And since these NBA games are so long and there's so many possessions, you're never like truly out of it until that buzzer sounds. And I expect us to fall into a lot more wins this year because of how we play for the entirety of the game and kind of our commitment to playing the right way, no matter what the score is or how much time is on the clock, is going to help us out a lot this year.
Was there a game late last season that you felt like if it had happened, in the first 15 games of the year, you guys would have rolled over like you were talking about, but you didn't, at the end of the year?
Man, that was a long time ago. Not that I can remember now. I just remember that kind of collective feeling in the locker room. Or even like if we got blitz with the 10-0 run in the second half, that would kind of kill us in the first half of the season. We just don't have that anymore.
And then for you, you're in the midst of trying to get a contract extension. What's that process been like? How are you feeling as you get ready for the season?
Honestly, it's been really fun. Like, it's a big decision, and it's like a big part of anybody's career, that first kind of introduction to the business side of basketball. But I mean, I kind of have craved that part of the game for a while now, and you kind of, as a rookie, and you're on your rookie deal, you just play and you hope to play your best and then let the rest take care of itself. But now I'm fully in it, and it's been fun to kind of get that side of what the business part of basketball is really like.
How you doing, Corey?
Good.
Brandon Scott, Locked On Wizards. You're a vet in the game now.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of leadership qualities are you trying to build upon, or what are you looking forward to as a leader going forward?
I mean, I have a lot of like leadership qualities that I've had for a while, and I've kind of like been ingrained in me since I was a kid. But I felt like kind of an imposter on this team trying to lead in the first couple of years of my career. Have all these great ideas or want to lead or want to hold people accountable, but people kind of look at you funny when you're in your first year, second year, and you're trying to tell people, older guys, what to do, grown men what to do. But now actually like being a tenured Wizard compared to a lot of other guys in this locker room, I feel like I have a lot more leeway to actually make my voice count. And I expect to really like make some big steps leadership-wise, just as I'm trying to make steps on the court with my game.
Speaking of steps on the court, we all saw how you improved last year. In what areas do you hope to make significant gains this year?
Yeah, I mean, like, continue to double and triple and quadruple down on my strengths and the reasons why I'm here. I want to shoot it really consistently from the outside. I want to be a threat from deep. I want to maintain the finishing numbers I had last year to kind of be that two-level threat. That you just can't run Corey off the line and then forget about it. I want to be somebody that makes teams really like second guess about how they're trying to guard me and the plan they want to put into place. But the thing that I kind of worked on the most this summer was like playing with and like craving contact. I'm a lot bigger and stronger than I think I am, and kind of growing into that ability to play to my strength literally is going to open up the world for me on the court.
And we know you guys want to improve defensively, to bring in a rim protector like Alex Sarr, a rebounder like Valanciunas, the size that Brogdon brings to the perimeter. These new pieces, how can they help you guys defensively?
Yeah, they're going to help us a ton. I mean, 2 out of those 3 guys have played in like playoff environments, really, really big games, and know the game inside and out. And that kind of experience and leadership that they bring is going to help us a ton on defense. We're going to have, we're going to tweak some things defensively. We're going to have a different plan in place. It's going to make it really easy on us to, guard other teams really well. But having that security blanket, both on the perimeter with Malcolm and inside with Jonas and Alex, gives us guards confidence to like pressure the ball and put a lot of stress on other teams, ball handlers. It's that kind of relationship between the guards and the bigs that make for a really good defense. And it's just something we want to get better at for sure. And I think BK has got a really good defensive history and background as well, and he's going to put a good plan into place to help us succeed.
Hey, Corey, last year with the new front office tried to do a lot of things to kind of level up.
Yep.
How are they continuing that? How have they continued that this offseason?
Yeah, well, I mean, I walked into the practice facility my first day, and about 3 weeks ago, and we had a brand new locker room. So like, that's one. A lot of it's visual. Like they've told us that they want us to feel comfortable and feel at home walking into work. When you can leave your home and feel like you're going to a second home when you go to the place that you work, that's going to make make us feel more comfortable, help us feel better in our own skin, and ultimately perform better. So in the first year and kind of through the first summer, a lot of it's visual, kind of making the place feel better and look better, and having us be more comfortable. And then, I mean, we hired a bunch of people over the summer that I've just gotten to know, and and they're doing an amazing job. They're the best at what they do, and they're going to make our lives easier as players. And again, in an effort to help us perform our best. So, all good marks on my report card for how they're leveling up. But yeah, so far so good.
Hey, Corey.
Hey.
Bijan Todd, Monumental Sports Network. As a veteran of the team now, a long-tenured Wizard, as you said, what do you...
Not old, but
Not old.
tenured, sure.
Didn't say the O word.
Thank you.
What are you doing specifically as a vet to try to ingratiate the young players into the game and try to get them more prepared for their first steps in the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I remember about being a rookie or being a second-year player in the league is just like, it sounds funny, but like little things like remembering everybody's name, or like the route you take to get home from the gym, or making sure you're on time to places. And like that was a huge stressor for me. Like I wanted to be on time, I wanted to be in the right place, I wanted to make sure I was doing the right thing. And that little stuff of like being an adult and showing up on time is a big learning curve for a lot of guys who are coming from college or other professional leagues. So little stuff like that helped me when I was a rookie, and I hope to pay that forward to get these guys as comfortable as possible. I mean, they're already like amazing people and they work hard, so they have that going for them. But I want to be able to make sure that when the season gets going and we kind of get in the grind of things, that they feel like they can be themselves, and that's the most important thing.
Christy Winter-Scott, Monumental Sports Network. With the pace of play being what it was last year, how will that be different this year with the variation of initiators that are available this season?
Yeah, we got a lot of different options, and the things that we're trying to do so far on offense is allowing us to play through those initiators and play through the guys that can put the rest of us in really, really good spots. We're going to, again, play really, really fast. I think that plays to our advantage a lot with the kind of athletes we have and the kind of shape the guys showed up in. And that's what I like. I like playing fast. I like getting up and down. I like running the floor. So I think you're going to expect a high tempo. You need to expect a high tempo offense from us, and really smart playmakers with the ball, putting us in good places to succeed.
Building off of that, I asked Coach Keefe about Malcolm Brogdon's ability to drive and kick. Mm-hmm. What can that do for you specifically as a shooter who's so good at obviously catch and shoots?
Yeah, I mean, he and I have had a lot of conversations already about how he says the word unlock me and use my skill set to, better the team and better our offense. Malcolm pretty much owns the paint as a guard, and he can kind of get touches in there whenever he really wants to, and that's what he's built his career off of. And not only that, he's like really cerebral and really smart too. So he can, do the really hard task of getting into the paint, but also making plays for others. And I've already seen the success that brings. For my 3-point makes per or 3-point makes and his assist numbers. So I hope to continue to work with him on that to see how he plays. And it's all a learning curve. It's all chemistry, and that just comes with reps. So and reps and conversations. So I hope to just continue to talk with Malcolm about that and see how he plays, and play off of him the best way that I can to make him successful and make me successful.
Hey, Corey.
Hey.
You talked about the offense and the pace of play, but you also talked about your building yourself over the off season. Last season, you talked about the challenge for yourself defensively, and you took that leap. We all saw it. What is that look like now, that next step defensively for you, especially knowing that that's an area BK is going to hold the entire team accountable?
Yeah, I mean, as players, like, even though sometimes, like, coaches or, like, any player can tell you that a coach would get on your nerves every now and again, but the BK's consistency and his accountability is something that, like, deep down we truly crave. And I want that. Everybody on this team wants that. And it's different for each player, right? So, like, the things that he holds me accountable on are, one of them is defense. And the physicality that I brought up earlier, playing, craving contact, like, works on both sides of the ball. And I can use my physicality, my frame, to, like, guide guys where I want them to go. And, that was a big focus for me this summer too, on both sides of the ball. And, like, thankfully, I believe that I have the physical ability to guard anybody on the floor, and it's putting myself in the right positions early and using my physical, strengths to make myself a successful defender. And, it's going to take some, games to actually see that implemented. But, like, so far it's been really, really positive, and I hope to, be an impact defender for this team this year rather than somebody in the past who has tried to get by. I want to make that big leap into being somebody that we can rely on both sides of the ball.
And did you, with the strength that you gained over the summer, is it something that you changed with your diet? Obviously, weightlifting is a component of that. Is it maybe tweaking something that you did in your workouts to allow yourself to get even stronger than you have been over the course of your career, or is it just maintaining what you've been doing?
No, it's maintaining. Like, in the weight room, it's maintaining what I've been doing. Like, I'm plenty strong enough to do the things that I want to do physically on the court, but it's like just trying stuff out defensively. I mean, playing a lot of live reps in the summer and pick up, kind of being really intentional of how I play defense and not being afraid to, like, screw up, mess up, and go back to the drawing board over and over again. This summer has been, in its entirety, no matter what I worked on, was, like, details and, like, tightening the screws on stuff. I didn't really feel like I had to, like, completely overhaul or add a brand new skill in the summer. It was truly just, like, dialing in the things that I already had and kind of making it work for me. And, as you get further and further in your career, you start to reinvent yourself less and less, and you just you get really, really good at the small stuff. And that was how I approached the summer on both sides of the ball. So it's, just throwing a lot of things at the wall, seeing what sticks, and then really kind of tightening the screws on stuff that you like.
Corey, in what ways, if any, does Jordan Poole seem different now compared to 12 months ago?
Yeah, you can just tell his blood pressure's a lot lower. I couldn't imagine the kind of stuff he was dealing with his first year here. I mean, coming to a brand new team from a place to a place that you've never been before, and you're asked to do like a host of different things that maybe he didn't have that role or that responsibility with the Warriors, and it felt like he was juggling a lot of different stuff. And this year he just feels comfortable. He feels calm. He feels secure in who he is and the kind of player he wants to be for us. And he's had a year to, kick the tires on his role on this team. And it feels like to me that he's coming in to be more of a leader, and he's coming into this year feeling super secure in who he is and the kind of player he is. So I've been really impressed with the progress he's made there and the strides he's taken in that part of his game. Because we all know the stuff he can do on the court. He's a super talented and skilled player, and it's all the rest that's taking huge jumps.
It just seems, after years and years of asking people about possible contract extensions and free agency, all that stuff, that it creates a lot of stress. And I'm sure all of us here can understand why. So why for you, in addition to it being your first contract negotiation, actually makes it fun?
Yeah, well, I mean, something I actually saw this summer that really put my mind at ease about it. I mean, it was something that was obviously hanging over my head the entire summer. And it was a preseason press conference with the Bills, and they asked Josh Allen about it. They asked him point blank, like, you're now the, like, kind of middle of the road as far as quarterbacks go, pay-wise in the NFL. And you see all these other guys earning crazy contracts. Like, does that bother you because you continue to play at a really high level? And he immediately answered no, and he kind of gave the mindset or gave the way he thinks about it is like everybody has their day. Everybody has their day in the NFL and the NBA and whatever sport you play. Why wouldn't you want everybody else to have theirs as well? And that's kind of the way that I look at it now is like, whether it's now, whether it's next season or whenever future contracts come up, for me, like, I'll have my day, I'll move on, I'll be able to take care of my family, I'll be able to play the sport that I love for a living, and then from there on out, it's your life kind of returns to normal afterwards. And I'm not going to, no matter how much or whatever I sign for or wherever my career takes me, like, my life's not going to look much different. My lifestyle's going to stay the same. I'm pretty happy and secure in who I am and how my family is. And so the stress that comes with the contract just feels a little lighter when you enter into the talks that way.
Thanks, Corey.
Cool. Thanks, guys.